Hi, welcome to our first Elite and Above training. We are so excited to be able to hopefully give you some ideas to help you and your business grow. My name is Ashley Bell, and I'm going to start us off, and then you'll hear from my husband, Joe Bell, and then we also have a special guest later on, Stephanie Fritz. So we are ready to get started. Okay, so most of you have already started growing your business, but for those of you that are struggling, I'm going to start out with just giving you a few ways to start and just a few tips to keep going in your business. So the first one is contact. Share oils with everyone you know. People complain about their health issues all the time, so just offer them samples. Ask them if they're open to natural health means, alternative ways, and see if they'd be interested in getting a sample. So share samples. You can get sample bottles from Aroma Tools or My Oil Business, and just keep them in your purse or with you at all times and ready to hand out. I keep 5 or 6 of the main oils from the Family Physician Kit in my purse all the time, ready to give out a sample. So, and be sure to get their information so you can follow up when you give out a sample. So that's probably the number one rule for handing out samples is when you give out samples, make sure you get their contact information so that you have a way to follow up with them. And be sure to follow up. Just ask them, how's it working for them, and just go from there. All right, the next thing is get some business tools, and I'm going to cover more of that in just a minute, but you might need some tear pads or some mini books or some information to help you. So I'll go into that more in just a minute. And then the next step would be inviting to a personal appointment or to a class. You want to be able to have a class scheduled, always kind of know when your next class is so that you're always ready to be able to give some information on the next class. And then it's really important at the end of a class or a personal appointment is to show the kids and give them the opportunity to enroll. Sometimes we get really excited and just tell them about the oils and they get excited, but they don't know how to get them. And so you're doing them a disservice if you do not let them know that they have the choice to get our oils at wholesale prices. And think of all the good benefits of having your own wellness account. So don't be afraid to show the kids and have them fill out an order form, an enrollment form to get them their wholesale account. Okay, and then the next thing is educate. So invite them to continuing education classes, and we'll talk more about this in just a minute. And then duplication is really important. You want to be able to follow some sort of training program. It's really hard to give everyone all of the training that they need, so you need to kind of plug into a system and plug into a program. We really like mydopro.com, but pick one that you like. There's doTERRA University, there's truewellness.net is a brand new one from Boyd Truman. So there's several. And the next one is build and structure your team, and that's kind of what I'm going to go over the basic comp plan today also. So, and the last thing is set up a weekly training call with us. Joe is an awesome coach, and he would love to talk to you and help you wherever you're at in your business. It's a very personalized phone call, and he's had a lot of really great success with working with people one-on-one, specifically on business. So this is just kind of an overview of some steps to get you going and to keep you going. Some of you may be doing some of these, and so that's great. Just kind of add on to the ones that you think will benefit your business. So the first thing I want to go into a little bit more detail about is getting business tools. So these are some of the tools that I like and use. I like the Products Made Simple Tear Pad, and you can get it from Aroma Tools or My Oil Business. I also have a kit flyer that I I made. If you want a copy of that, please email me and we'll send you a copy. But I like it because it shows the 4 main kits out of the 6, and it has a description of what oils are in each of them and a price on there. So, and then I also print out the enrollment form and the price list from doTERRA tools. So those are kind of the simple class handouts that I like to use as a, as a kind of a summary page, obviously a kit page, a price list, and an enrollment form. And then I give out a mini book for those that order. So my favorite one is the Essential Oils Simplified from the TrueWellness.net site. I love that little book. He's updated it. There's lots of good pictures in there and information about oils, and then you can look up any health issue and it'll have a small protocol of oils to use. He sells them for a 10-pack for $10, so they're $1 a piece, and I like to give them out. There's others. There's of course A to Z Guide, and there's other books. The Modern Essential has a mini book also. So just pick which one works for you. Pick which one that you like. And pick what handouts work for you. If you I really suggest getting a guidebook though, because it's important for people to know how to use their oils, and like I said, these little books are $1. So the other thing is I also have Modern Essentials books available, which I give out oftentimes as a hostess gift, and I have them usually for sale at a class. So this is what works for me. Find the tools that works for you. I love that doTERRA also has a new Class in a Box kit. So if you have not taught a class before, or you're kind of unsure, then try this route. It gives you an enrollment tear pad, it gives you an enrollment form tear pad, it gives you Wild Orange and magazines and sample cards, and even a DVD that you can play for a class. So it makes it really simple, really easy. So doTERRA is making it really easier more than ever to share oils. And you might just add to the Class in the Box maybe a handout or a guidebook, and then you're set to go. Total, probably, I don't usually spend more than, I probably spend maybe $50 a month or so, if that, on all my tools by the time I get a few tear pads and handouts and have a few guidebooks and a Modern Essentials book. So that's a pretty small investment for growing our business. So just to kind of give you an idea. Okay, so let's talk about your class. So tips for a successful class. These are just some guidelines, and so I'm just going to kind of go through these. The first one is be positive. Even if you only have 1 or 2 people there and the host might be embarrassed and apologizing, it's okay. Just be positive and let them know, it's okay. This way I just get to spend more time and give each of these these 1 or 2 people here more individualized attention, so that we can really support them and feel like we really have something to offer for their specific needs. So just make sure that you stay positive, and it's okay no matter who shows up or what happens. It's a good idea to have water available, to try lemon in their water or another citrus oil. That's always kind of fun to have them try. And you can definitely have other refreshments and snacks if you want, but at least have water for them to offer for lemon. If you have a diffuser, definitely have that running and going. My favorite is to put Wild Orange and Peppermint in a diffuser. The Wild Orange is mood enhancing and mood elevating, and kind of our happy, joyful oil. And Peppermint helps us stay alert and awake and listen, so the class can be more attentive. So those are kind of my go-to for a class to put in the diffuser. And then I basically just start out the class with just saying maybe how we got started using them, and then tell briefly what oils are, explain 3 ways to use them, and then just pass around each oil and briefly talk about the oils, like the ones that come in the Family Physician Kit is a great place to start. And then the next thing you have to remember at the end to close the deal. This is so important. People want these oils after you told them about them, and so make sure you tell them the best way to get oils. Explain that they can purchase retail, or you recommend doing a wholesale account, and show them the enrollment kits. And then pass out the enrollment flyer and explain each of those kits and let them know that they have a choice and they can choose whichever one fits for their family and their needs. And then you can pass out the order form also with that and kind of explain to them the order form. Just fill out the information that's highlighted and choose your kit, and we can get this order for you. You want to make this closing process very clear and easily understandable. If there's question or if they're confused, then their answer is always going to be no. So you want this to be very clear and very easy to do. And then, like I said, if you're unsure about doing a class, try the class in a box. It's kind of the same format or outline. It just, you don't have to talk about each of the individual oils. You play like a 2-minute video on each of the oils, and it has a great introduction, too, of what oils are. So if you're unsure about doing that, like I said, try the class in the box. Okay, let's go to kind of a class schedule. So we recommend definitely having a weekly personal introduction class to oils, okay? You always want to know when your next class is, and you should always be personally enrolling people. So you might be to the point where you're teaching your other team members and giving them support and helping them with their classes, and that's great. Definitely be there to support your team members and offer to help them with their classes, especially for their first one. But you still need to have a personal weekly class so that you are still getting personal enrollments. And for when you're passing out those samples and talking to people, you know when your next class is. So definitely minimum have a weekly personal intro to oils class. And then the next class, this is so important, and oftentimes we look over this, but we need to be having a monthly continuing education class, like a Super Saturday. Okay, we need to be supporting the wellness advocates that are already using and loving the oils. So you can do like a Beyond the Basic Oil class and talk about 10 oils that are not in any of the like the basic Family Physician or Home Essentials kit. Maybe talk about the ones in the Natural Solutions kit, or pick 10 of your favorite oils that you like and that aren't in the Family Physician kit and talk about those. And then oftentimes we'll go around and ask if anyone has an oil that they've heard about or they have one that they have questions about. We'll maybe add that to our list. But get your people educated on the other oils that are out there. Another one is a supplements class. We've done where we talk about the things that are in the plastic bottles instead of the glass bottles, and so we'll go over like the TerraZyme and the Zendocrine and the Lifelong Vitality Pack and all of that. You can also do the Healthy Inside and Out, the cleansing products. You can do a spa class and do a skincare and hair care class. So, mix it up, do a different class each month, make it fun, invite your current wellness advocates. Be sure you talk about the Loyalty Rewards program. This would be kind of the close, if you will, at the end of this class, is mention to them that they have the option to get these products and use the frequent flyer program that we have, the Loyalty Rewards program, to earn credits towards free product. And this is also a great time to just briefly discuss the business at the end and just kind of give them a 3 or 4 minute spill on just knowing that there is a business opportunity, and because we're naturally going to love these oils and naturally share them, that we want to be able to be able to explain the business just a little bit so they know how they can get paid effectively, the most effective way. Work with your other local leaders for these education classes. Work with your upline, work with your downline, work with your sideline. Make these events big and rotate who hosts the class. You can even do it at a community center, but most of the people at this class are already enrolled, so it's not competitive. You just want to build up a community for oils. So don't be afraid to invite, get together with the other leaders, the other people that are in that are doing doTERRA also, and network with them and plan these big monthly classes together. And they can be a lot of fun and really can help create that residual income to keep just to support your wellness advocates for their Loyalty Rewards orders. Also, you can look up different ways to go about teaching a little bit about the business and the loyalty rewards program. There's a lot of good trainings. There's some on doTERRA University. There's some on YouTube. I found a great one the other day. Teresa Harding has a fantastic video on how to bring up loyalty rewards orders and how to close at the end of your classes. So if you struggle with getting enrollments, I highly recommend watching her video. She talks about how to briefly bring up the business, and it's really, really good. So just go on YouTube and search Teresa Harding how to close, and she has a great webinar on specific wording for classes. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, so let's get in to some details. Just remember, this is a sponsor and teach business, not a recruit and sell business. So we are here to support and teach our customers and our fellow wellness advocates. So use words like share and we want to help support you. Those are great words to use. Okay, so I'm going to go over the compensation plan and how to advance in ranks, and so there's 6 ways to earn from doTERRA. So the first is to purchase on your loyalty rewards. This is important because you're earning rewards credits, and it's the foundation for earning bonuses and commissions. Then we also have retail sales, we have fast start bonuses, we have power of 3, we have unilevel commission, and leadership bonus pool. So we're going to go into these kind of individually. So the first one is the loyalty rewards program. This is your frequent flyer program that as we personally order each month, we can earn points on our personal orders and turn that into free products. So most of you should be familiar with this program. We have to order $100 minimum to qualify to earn a commissions check. So if you do $100 a month, then you can get $10 credited to your account, and after a year, you get 30% credited back to your account. So that's $30 credited into your account every month. So it's a great way to just earn free products and earn reward points on our personal orders. Okay, so what is PV and OV? Let's get into this before we go directly to the compensation plan. So PV stands for personal volume, or the value of your personal purchases. So it's basically just a point system that helps the company manage their foreign exchange rates and profit margins. So because it's an international company, they have to have a base value for each product. And then OV is your overall volume, and that represents all the purchases on your entire team. Okay, and then we have enroller and sponsor. So enroller is the owner and that has more control of the Wellness Advocates account, and they're the ones that are paid for the Fast Start bonuses. So what I mean is they have control over where the new Wellness Advocate is placed on their team. So they're the ones that can go in and change that and move that around. You know, we have one time that we can move a person once they're enrolled. So so the enroller is the one that has control over that, and they're the ones that get the Fast Start bonuses. Then the sponsor is simply the placement of the Wellness Advocate, and it's simply just where they're placed on the team. It's the upline person. So for example, I can enroll someone and then place them under someone else on my team, and that person that I place them under is the sponsor. So just so you know, there's a difference between enroller and sponsor. Okay, so here's kind of an overview of the compensation plan, and we're going to go over these one by one. So the first column on the left is the retail profit. So we can get paid by earning retail profit. We earn 25% on the retail purchases. So this happens 2 ways. Either I can, if I send someone to my website and they order retail, then doTERRA will send me a commission, 25% of what they purchased on my website. and the LRP is actually not required for this. The other way to do it is I can personally order it on my account with my wholesale discount and then sell it to them retail, and then I would keep that difference. The difference that I charge would be my profit. So this is normally how I choose to do that. Of those two ways, I sell very little retail, but when I do, it's often when somebody just wants to try out an oil, so I give them one, sell it to them for retail, and then when they come back and want more, then we can go through and really sit down and go over the kits and help them purchase them at a discount. So sometimes people like to kind of try one before they invest, and so retail is a great option just to have, but it's not long standing, it's not long term, it's not going to build you residual income. So, but it is one of the ways that we can earn commissions. Okay, so when you enroll someone, when you are the enroller, you can get a fast start bonus, okay? And this is a really great bonus because it's paid out weekly. All the other bonuses and commissions are paid monthly, but this one gets paid weekly. So if you enroll someone this week, next week, by the end of the next week, you should have a check in the mail if you're the enroller. So it's paid to the enrollers, not the sponsor, so it's that enroller, the person that kind of educated them and kind of brought them in and kind of did the work. They're the enroller, and so it gets paid there. And this, you do have to have a loyalty rewards order of at least 100 PV to get this bonus. So how that works is this gets paid up 3 levels. So the first person that enrolled him gets 20%. The person that enrolled them gets 10%, and the next person gets 5%. So to give you an example, if Molly opened up a wholesale account and purchased a home essentials kit for $275, her purchase is worth 225 PV. So you would earn $45, which is at 20%. Then the person who enrolled you would earn 10%, which would be $22.50, and then their enroller would earn $11.25. Okay, that's the 5%. So it gets paid up 3 levels back. Okay, so the Fast Start is paid on anything that the new wellness advocate orders within their first 60 days. So if that new wellness advocate orders the following month, hopefully on a loyalty rewards order, then you will get another Fast Start bonus as long as you have that 100 PV LRP order. So if you do not, then you'll miss out on that week's check. So make sure you maintain a 100 PV LRP order so you never miss out. And it's actually counted on what's the template, like what is set up in your cart. So even if you've ordered $100 this month and then you go into your account and you just put maybe one oil on it because you're not sure what else you want to get that month, if doTERRA, if they go in and see that for the Fast Start bonus and they go to cut checks and your order isn't at 100, you will not get that check, even if you did actually order 100 already that month. So you have to make sure your template or what's in your LRP cart is always at 100, because that's what it goes by, is what's in the template, not actually what was ordered. So just so you know, keep 100 so you won't miss out. Okay, so the next one, this is one of my favorites. This is the Power of 3 team bonus. This is probably the most foundational of our compensation plan. So what happens is when you have 3 people underneath you and they have 100 loyalty rewards orders each, so we have 3 100 LRP orders underneath, and same with you, you have that, your own, and then there's a 600 volume within you and those 3 people and anyone else right there on your front line. So if it just were us 4 people, then we would each have to order like 150 to meet that 600. Oftentimes if there's a 4th or 5th person, that helps add to that 600. And I love that doTERRA has the 125 PV product of the month and you get a free oil, because that helps boost up those orders and helps it easy to get to that 600. So when that happens, when that structure is in place and you have 3 people directly under you, all with 100 loyalty rewards orders, and the volume is 600, you get a $50 bonus. So it pays for right there about half of your loyalty rewards order. So it's not a whole lot. It's not anything to get too excited about, but it is something, and it and it's just the basics, it's just the foundation. So then what you want to do is teach those 3 people to get their 50, get their oils working on, get them paid for. So when they each have 3 people under each of them, and they've completed the structure, so they all have 600 too on each of theirs. So all the purple group has 600, all the green group has 600, and all the red group has 600. Then your bonus goes to 250. And then it does pay out one more level. So when each of those people have 3 people, your bonus jumps to 1,500, and then the people on your first level would be getting their 250, and then those people on the third level would be getting their 50. So it's a really great structure to set up, and this is, like I said, kind of the foundation. So here's how it works. Here's how it all is kind of looks structured and all played out. So you find 3 that want to purchase on the wholesale and on a loyalty rewards program. You earn 50 as long as you have 3 people on your first level with 100 LRP, and then you have 600 PV total. And then you help your 3 people get their 3 people, and your bonus is 250. And then when you've completed 3 levels, you earn 1,500 a month. So just to kind of review that and see how that looks. Okay, so the basis of this is the 50. Don't worry about the 1,500. Don't worry about the 250. Just worry about building to your power of 3 and your $50 bonus, and then teach that and repeat it. Just our goal is for everyone on our team to be getting their $50 bonus, because if everyone was getting their $50 bonus, then a lot of us, majority, would be getting their 1,500. So just focus on the 50. Just teach the 50 for the basics. Usually that's what I would say at the end of a continuing education class when I'm talking a little bit about the business, or even just a general business class. I really just teach to the 50, and just, if anyone is interested in the business or asks questions, that's usually the first thing I can tell them is, look, once you have 3 people, do a class or 2, and once you have 3 people that are committed to doing loyalty rewards, that's $50 in your pocket every month. And I usually don't go beyond that. Just that's usually all that they can kind of process at the moment. So just worry about teaching to that 50, building to that 50, and then repeat that on your team. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the second half of the compensation plan, which is the volumes and the different levels and the different ranks. So that's just kind of an overview. We're going to take this step by step. So the first level, you get paid 2%, and if you have 3 on your team, then you'd get about a $59 monthly income. Okay, when you have your second level filled, okay, and you have 9, that jumps up to about 300. Okay, your third level about 1,700. Okay, so as you're filling and getting these deeper levels filled, then your check is going up. And if you notice, the percent on your unilevel is going up. So those people right on your first level, you're only getting 2% on. That's not very much. That's nothing to get excited about. But the deeper you go, the more commission you earn. And that is really, really key. That's why our business is so just structured so perfectly. Most companies start out by paying that higher level at that first level, and think about it, you're only going to have a few, maybe 3 or 4 people on your front line, but you're going to have hundreds on your third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh level, and so you want to be getting paid those deeper commissions on a whole lot of people just versus 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So as you see, it gets down to that 7th level is $34,000 for a monthly income. Okay, that's incredible, and there's a lot of people that are making that and way more. So it's a really great structure. That unilevel commission really grows deep, but it just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so now that was kind of focusing on the levels. Now I want you to look at the top. Across the top is these different names: manager, director, executive, elite, premier, silver. Okay, these are the different ranks that you have in doTERRA, and each underneath them talks about different volumes that you have to have. So for a manager, you have to have 500 overall, which would be your team volume. Your director has to qualify as a director, you have to have 1,000 overall volume, an executive 2,000, an elite 3,000, and then it goes up from there. At premier 5,000, silver you have to have 3 elites, which means 3 legs with 3,000. Okay, so this kind of goes into the different ranks. So the most important one on here I want you to notice is the elite. Okay, to be elite, you have to have 3,000 overall volume. Doesn't matter what legs are in or how the structure is. Hopefully you've set it up to have working towards that power of 3, and you should be at that 50 or 250 level. And so your legs, those individual teams are developing or starting to develop, but really you just have to have an overall volume of 3 or 3,000, and that is really key because most of those other ranks, if you notice, are all the silver base is elite, platinum's base is 3 silvers, which to be silver you need those elites. Diamond, you need 4 silvers, which to get silver you need elites. Okay, so it's kind of the foundation. Those elites are really really important. So you can add to that the build 50 and elite and repeat. So that's once you get 3,000, then you just want to repeat that on your team and help each of your leaders get to that 3,000, and you'll fly through those ranks. So okay, so this just kind of gives you a better visual of this. So you have your silver with your 3 legs of elite, which is that 3,000 volume. It takes about 60 IPCs if they each had, or wellness advocates, if they each had $150 loyalty rewards order. And then so it takes about 20 people on each of those teams. Then there's platinum, which is 3 silvers, which needs 3 elites, each of them, and then diamond. And I want to go back. We have really great builder worksheets that what you can do is if you are trying to get to elite and try and get to 3,000 volume, then add up on your team what your average monthly volume is. Say you're getting at about 2,000 or 2,500 or so, and you're about, say, 500 or 600 short of reaching that, then plan on this month, average out about how much volume you do at each class. Say I sell usually, 2 or 3 family physicians kits, then I'm going to need to do, at least, a few classes that month to make up that difference to hit that rank. So kind of figure that out, and we have worksheets that help you figure that out. You can email us and we'll send you one, but they help you see how much volume you're getting and how much volume you need to reach your next rank, whether it's elite, premier, silver, whatever it is, and then what you have to do, how many classes or how many people you have to teach, and that orders a kit so that you can reach your next rank. So okay, so there's platinum, diamond. There's just another way to see diamond, and I just wanted to show you all those blue boxes or all those elites. Okay, so here's just a really cool thing that I want you to process for a minute. This is where to focus. So if you just went by your unilevel commissions, that first, second, third level commissions, getting those 2, 3, 4, 5%, how fast would it take you to equal $1,500 monthly bonus? Okay, you would need 30,000 PV, 30,000 volume on your team to get, that's supposed to say OV, by the way, 30,000 overall volume on your team to equal 1,500. Okay. Now, if you focused on the power of 3 and building out that structure, you only need 6,000 overall volume to get your 1,500 bonus. Okay. If that structure is perfectly in place, the minimum it would take is 6,000. Okay. So just kind of compare that. You'll move that Power of 3 bonus is really, really important. That sets up your structure to make those ranks, but it initially gives you some good bonuses before, because that 2 and 3% that you're earning on those levels, isn't very much, and it's going to take a little while for all of that to add up. So doTERRA throws in these bonuses to kind of help us along the way so that we can be getting an income as we're starting out. We can only have 3 people and get a $50 bonus. That's awesome. So they kind of throw in these really great bonuses so that we can have a good side income while we're building out those levels and getting into those deeper levels, which we're going to get that deeper commission. So focus on your Power of 3. Build out that structure. Support those leaders. Help them find their 3 people and let it expand and go down from there. And that sets you up into to perfect structure to reach silver. You need 3 legs of 3,000 for that silver. And so it helps you get that set up that structure. Okay, so the last way to get paid is the leadership pools. So when you become, doTERRA takes the entire profit margin and they take 2% out and they divide it up between the leaders. So silvers get 1 share of that, golds get 5 shares of that, and platinum gets 10 shares for that. And you get an extra share for each new elites. Okay, there's those elites again. Okay, so this is just a nice bonus check that you get just simply for having that that title. And this is a good thing to just kind of note. Sometimes if you teach other people that maybe aren't on your team, or you've had some, you feel like you've asked this person, answered this person's lots of their questions, and you think, oh, they should be going to their person, I'm not their leader. This kind of gives us a little kickback for helping those that are not on our team, because this is profits, this is shares that we're getting from the entire company's profits. So I just kind of look at it when I help someone that's not on my team as it's okay. I'm gonna get paid from this in the leadership pools. So it's okay to to help to be there and answer questions for even people that aren't on your team, because it all comes back to us. So that's the ones for silver, gold, and platinum. Diamonds have their own. So diamonds get a share from all of the same. They get their own percent to share between the diamonds, the blue diamonds, and presidential diamonds. So these bonuses really add up. The silver's bonus is about $150 right now. The gold's is about $800. And the platinum is about $1,500, $1,600-ish. So they really they really add up. The diamonds and blue diamonds, you're looking at more like 5,000 and 10,000, and I don't even know what it is for presidential, but you get into a lot more bonuses just for having that title. You get a portion of that. So you don't have to worry about so much of these later, but just so you know, when you get silver, that's why it's considered the first leadership rank. So okay, so this obviously takes a little bit of time to grow. The most important thing is to be consistent, and I love this analogy of the Chinese bamboo. Chinese bamboo is a very strong, solid plant. They actually have used it as beams to hold up buildings. It's very, very strong, but it grows really, really slow for 5 years, and then, I mean, you can hardly see it growing. It looks like it's nothing at all. But then in that 5th year, it shoots up 60 to 80 feet tall in 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, you can literally see it growing day to day. And that's kind of how our business works. If we're consistent and we keep at it, it may seem like it's really slow growth and we're only getting that 2 and 3%, but it will shoot up. If you are consistent and doing these things that we talked about, then your business is going to explode and grow. And that could be 5 years, that could be 2 years, but either way, it's going to take time. So keep at it, keep planting those seeds, keep just keep doing those classes, keep sharing oils with everyone you know, and keep, do your monthly continuing education classes. Get people excited about oils, and if they're excited, they're going to want to share, and so that'll grow your business. So I just encourage you to be consistent and stay at it, and we can be like that bamboo tree and just shoot up and grow and get into those deeper levels of commissions and that 1,500 bonus and have that monthly income that we want. So thank you. Thank you very much for listening, and I just want to have one more thought in there, that now is the time to grow your doTERRA business. It's a perfect time, even though the economy may not be perfect. That's when home businesses seem to fly. And our healthcare system is not perfect, and people are looking for other alternatives and other ways to take care of their families. And we have the tools, so let's share them with the world. And I just want to end. Thank you very much for listening. I'm going to turn the time over to my husband. He is ready and waiting for you. So he will be on in just a minute. You can take like a 1-minute intermission here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and spending your Saturday morning with us. So today I'm going to talk about supporting your team. Now, when you're supporting your team, just like this bridge needs a support system, you need to support your team in many different ways. And sometimes, just like on this bridge, you'll need to be a big support, and sometimes you'll need to be a little support. But either way, you need to know how to support your team. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So there's 3 different types of team members that's on everybody's team. You have your users, your sharers, and your builders. And no matter what bridge they're on or where they're going with doTERRA, they're going to need your support. So we have our users. Our users, they love to purchase the oils. They love to talk about the oils. They have their LRP, and that's it. They're not doing anything else. Now your users, they may only need a little bit of support. But if you're not there to support them, they're going to fall. And they're going to fall into this river right here and be swept down, and you won't see them again. So even with our users, we need to have some type of support system, even if it's a little one. Our sharers, they love to talk about the oils. They carry them everywhere. They have an unorganized team structure. These are the no-pressure people. Well, I don't want to pressure anybody. I don't want to force anybody, and that is great. This is also the most common group of people we see in doTERRA, and this group is also the most genuine. Now, your sharers will need lots of support sometimes and a little bit of support sometimes. Just like on this bridge, lots of support sometimes and a little bit of support sometimes. However, if you fail to support them when they need it, they're going to fall into the canyons below and be lost forever. And then you have your builders. Your builders, they're networking outside their warm markets. They talk business. They're very goal-oriented. They have an organized and structured team. Your business builders, they need lots of support at the beginning as they're learning everything and getting moving here. But as they go on, they need less and less support. You need to teach your builders how to support a team of their own, and that's something that is really important to these builders. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about these users here and how to support them. So your oil users, you need to teach them. Invite them to your monthly education classes. You need to have resources and tools for them, the mini guidebooks, the Modern Essentials books, websites and apps and things like that. You need to be able to answer their questions. If they need an oil or they have a problem, they're going to call you, and you have to answer that phone. That's part about being a support to this group. If you don't answer their call, or you ignore them, or don't get back to their email or text, they're not going to feel supported. They need knowledge. They need to know what oil to use, how to use it, and when to use it. This group needs continuing education. As this group learns about oils, they're going to add them to their LRP because they're going to want that oil. So it's really important to teach this group beyond the basic oils, the ones not in the family physician kit. There's so many other oils out there. Teach those oils as well, and there's continuing education with this group. You want to make sure they have those mini guidebooks and Modern Essentials books, again, because they need to know how to find answers, and they need to have the tools to be able to do that. Now your sharers. We're going to talk about supporting the sharers a little bit here. They love the oils, and they generally want to share with their friends and family. You have to show them that you care about them. You have to have a relationship with them. You need to invite them to your continuing education courses. They need a basic knowledge of the oils and resources, such as the resource guides, Modern Essentials book, websites, apps, and things like that. And you need to teach them how to share effectively, so you need to do that leading by example. Just like with the users, when these sharers call you or text you or email you, you have to get back to them. That's a big support in this group. You need to talk to this group, build a relationship with them, more than just oils. Talk about what they did this last weekend, or maybe their kids, or other interests that they have. Continuing education is very important with this group as well, just as we talked about with the users. As you have continuing education with the sharers, they're going to think of people they know that can benefit from the oils. Now your builders. Your builders, you got to meet their physical needs. So if they're going to call you, or if they're going to stop by your house, you got to answer the door. You got to answer the phone. They may need you to come and be a guest presenter at something. You need to be able to do that for them. They need knowledge of the oils, just like everybody else, when to use them, how to use them. And they need to know how to find answers on their own. If they're building, you don't want them calling you every single time they get a question. So teach them that there's other resources out there. And if they look it up, if they look up an answer in the Modern Essentials book, they're more likely to remember it than just asking you. Remember, with this group, strong relationships build strong businesses. Definitely lead by example with this group. They need a training program. So let them get plugged into something. MyDoPro, TrueWellness.net. They need to plug into something. And they need training, and they need strategy. You need to talk to them about placements or bonuses or proper ways to close a class. All of those things you have to be able to help your builders with. So we're going to take a look at the comp plan here. I know Ashley went in depth on this, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. But I want you to look at this while I ask you this question. What group do you think is the most important to your success in doTERRA? Alright, so in our opinion, it's the sharers. Again, that's our opinion. And now, what rank can every sharer reach? That's right, elite. So with Elite, you need 3,000 overall volume with no structure. Every share should be able to reach that with just a little bit of support. Elite is the foundation of the comp plan. doTERRA knows this, and that's why they structured the comp plan this way. So we're going to take a quick look again at how to reach silver. So in order to reach silver, you need 3 sharers. And when they're sharers, they need to have a 3,000 volume overall. So for you to reach silver, you need 3 elites. Another name for elite could be sharer. And as a sharer, they just need a 3,000 volume. Every sharer should be able to do that with a little bit of help. And remember that 3,000 volume doesn't have to be structured. So it doesn't matter where they're putting people, whether they're stacking them, whether they're working toward this or working toward that. It's just an overall team volume. Let's take a look at diamond briefly here. So your diamond, which means you have 4 silvers. Well, in order to reach silver, you need to have 3 elites underneath you. Again, elites, 3,000 volume, unstructured. They can be however it is on their tree, wherever they're placing people. That's just fine. It's the overall volume of an elite is 3,000. So, as you can see, the foundation of the comp plan is elite. And I know Ashley got into that quite a bit. So we're going to really focus in on the sharers. Now, I want to focus on the sharers because this is the most overlooked group in doTERRA. I mean, most of the time as we're growing our business, we ask ourselves, all right, are they a user or are they business builder? Right? I mean, that's what we ask ourselves. And so we don't think of the sharers in the middle there. So I want to focus in on how to help a sharer get to elite. Most important thing is you need to speak their language. If you don't talk business to a user, so why are you going to talk business to a sharer? You don't want to use words such as bonus, power of 3, or business. You do want to use words such as when you're ready, help others, let's do it together. Now, once you understand that you have to speak their language, it makes working with these sharers a lot easier. You can't talk business to them. You have to talk in terms of sharing. So we know how to speak their language. You need to build a bridge with a sharer. You need to build belief. You need to build relationship. You need to build them so they can be independent. You need to be genuine with them. And you need to build up the education with them. So let's take a look at these. Belief. We need to build beliefs in ourselves and in others. So just like the first step when you're building a bridge, you need to believe that you can do it. Just like with these sharers, they need to have the belief in themselves, in the oils, and in you. So they need to have an experience with the oils. They need to know they work. They need to give them recognition. Recognition is very important. As you're recognizing them for all the great things they're doing, that's going to help build up the belief system. Maybe let them seal the deal and have them do the final paperwork where somebody signs on that line they want to become a wellness advocate. You may do the teaching and the training and the education and giving out the samples, but let them be there and do the paperwork, and let them get the signature on the line, and let them put in the computer. That's building up the belief that they can do it. You need to do this through education and teaching of the oils. So really building up a belief in a sharer is a really important thing. Solid relationships equals solid business. Now, I'm sure these guys here working on this bridge have a very good relationship with one another, because they're working together and they're kind of watching out for each other. They're up high, they don't look like they're harnessed in there. You know, they're watching out for each other's safety. So when you're working with your people, you need to watch out for each other's safety. So talk to them, get to know them beyond the oils. Talk about their kids, a trip they just went on. They need to have trust in you and like you if you want them to share. I mean, because they're going to introduce you to their friends and to their family. So they're going to have to like you and trust you in order to be able to do that. Talking to them more than just oils is a really great thing. Call them up on the phone and just ask how they're doing. Remember, solid relationships equals solid business. Independent. As you built up the beliefs and you built up the relationship, you need to build it up so they feel independent as well. Like this guy here is working independently on this bridge. Give them the tools so they can do it themselves. You need to be able to build up that confidence in them and have that relationship with them, that when they go out and talk oils to somebody, they're not going to say, oh, my friend does this here, you just call them and you contact them. Because chances are that person won't. They need to be confident enough to say, oh, I use this, try it, let me know what you think. They need to be able to do some things on their own. If they're not, or if they can't, they're going to call you every time they want to share oils with somebody. And that's great, but you want them to be a little bit more independent than that. Duplication. What you're doing must be duplicatable. So just like here in this picture, this guy's carrying a piece of wood to lay down, and the guy right behind him is carrying a piece of wood to lay down, and the guy right behind him is carrying a piece of wood to lay down. It's all duplicatable. So they should be able to copy what you're doing. And this is when it's really nice to have a system that they can plug into. Some type of training program, MyDopePro, TrueWellness.net. Those are some of the better ones out there that we've been onto. Whatever one you're using, let them use, because then it's a system. They plug right into it. They can see exactly how to do things step by step by step, and you're doing those things the exact same way, step by step by step. So they can copy you. That's the whole goal with duplication. Do the exact same thing that you're doing. When you're working on this, you need to make sure you keep it simple and easy for them to follow. You really want your sharers to say, that's all you did? I could do that. That's kind of your goal with a duplication process. You want it to be simple and easy so everybody can do it, and they just think, oh, I could do that. You need to be genuine. You need to care about them. This is a really important part. Just like this guy here is holding that safety rope for his partner who's working close to the edge, they need to know that you're going to hold their safety rope because you care about them. So that way if they slip and fall on something, you're ready to pull them right back up and build them right back up. They have to know you care. They're not just another enrollment. They're not just another oil user. They are your friend. You really care about them and you really want to help them and help their friends and family. And being genuine will get you farther in this business than a lot of other things. So you really want to care about them, and they need to know that. Education. Just like these guys here working on this bridge, they got an education, they learned how to weld, and so they can work on the bridge here. They need an education. The more they learn, the more they share. So as the more they're sharing, that's the more they're getting up to that 3,000 volume, the more they're working toward elite. Continuing education with this group is really, really important. You want to make sure that they are able to attend those classes and attend events and things like that. Corporate events are great to get this group to. Any training events, any education, you want to get them to that. So doTERRA knows this, and so doTERRA has a great new thing. They just came out with these. These are the new brochures that you get when you enroll in your enrollment pack. So you've got your living doTERRA. That's going to be your users. Then you have your sharing doTERRA. Again, that's your sharers. And your build doTERRA, your builders. And each one of these packets explains about whatever stage they're in. So, for example, with the users, it talks about using your products and getting to know them, and has a little usage guide and things like that. Your sharing, it talks about how to share products, how to give samples, and it has little sample tags that you can attach to the sample bottles and hand out. Your building doTERRA goes into a lot more of the business type end of things. So it's a really great thing that doTERRA has with these introductory packets. There's also the new class in a box. doTERRA realized that sharers were really important to the business, but there wasn't a lot of help out there for them. So they have the class in a box. You put in the DVD and you watch the video. It teaches the class. It comes with packets and wild oranges, and that's a really great thing for those sharers. If you're not able to travel up there and help a sharer, class in a box might be a really good thing for them. And there's also the brand new share program. If you haven't looked into the share program at all, that's also a great opportunity for your sharers to earn free product, because they're going to be sharing anyway, and everybody likes free stuff. Remember, a bridge is not built in a day, and neither is your doTERRA business. You have to work at it every single day. So we want to encourage you to go out there and work on building your bridge every day with your team members. And remember that the sharers are the secret to success with doTERRA. So presentation does not equal training. And we would like to thank you for joining us today. And our intention with this presentation is for it to be a training. However, it's only a training if you put into action what you've learned, if there's a change in behavior. So we encourage you to move forward, take action, and build your business. We would like to thank you so much for joining us this morning, spending your Saturday morning with us. Be sure and like us on Facebook. And if you have any questions, there's our phone number, there's our email, there's our website. You can contact us any way, and we'll help you in any way we can. I would also like to thank all of you for coming in to listen. I'd like to thank Ashley, my wife there, for such an amazing job she did on preparing her presentation and being able to relate that information so well. She did an absolute amazing job. Every time I listen to her, I learn something. And I would just like to let everybody know that Stephanie Fritz is our Diamond Upline, and she was unable to join us live on this presentation. However, she did record it, and it is going to be emailed out to you, her portion of this, here very, very shortly. So be sure to watch her presentation. It is amazing. She does a fantastic job at teaching us about our why and building our business. So I encourage you to make sure you watch that video and take notes on it, because when I watched it, I filled up several pages of notes. So definitely watch that and have notes available. This video will also be sent out as a recording. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your day. Now we're going to have the pleasure to hear from Stephanie Fritz. She is a Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA. She is also the author of Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies. She is one of the most wonderful and caring people that we know, and she is like a mother to all of us. We're very lucky to have her here with us today, and so if everybody is ready to take notes, this is going to be a great presentation. All right, Stephanie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, first of all, can we just talk about your off-the-chart amazing leaders, Ashley and Joe, for just a minute? They are so kind and generous and hardworking leaders. They love, love, love their team and genuinely want to help you succeed. They tell me all the time about their amazing leaders, and we strategize together about ideas to help you reach your goals. They truly have a heart of gold, and they want to pass their success on to you. I often feel like they mentor me. That's how awesome Ashley and Joe are. So I'm excited to be with you here to share this information with you. Just a quick introduction about myself. Thank you, Joe, for that for that sweet introduction. I'm a midwife in southeastern Arizona. I have 4 beautiful daughters who fully embrace the doTERRA lifestyle, 4 adorable grandchildren who have benefited from these oils since the womb. I started using essential oils in the early 80s, and then I started doTERRA in April of 2008. So my intention today is to empower you to discover within yourself the reason you are doing this, the reason you are willing to put yourself out there and to share with others, the reason you're willing to invest $150 a month in these products. 6.5 years ago, I asked myself those same questions because it was tough. In the beginning, we had to educate on what essential oils even were. The CPTG, what the heck is that? You know, that was a brand new label, and we had to educate people on what that, you know, what CPTG means, certified pure therapeutic grade. We had to present the doTERRA name, you know, gift of the earth. What does doTERRA mean? That's a weird word. And we had to experience the oils for ourselves to gain our own testimonies. Now we look out there and there's hundreds and thousands of testimonies, but in the beginning we had to gain those for ourselves. So the last 6.5 years, we've had to validate that doTERRA was different. And now because of that groundwork, we can more easily engage in the opportunity because the products stand on their own. Oh, I couldn't figure out how to work my screen there. So picture and imagine that you were going on a trip across country. Normally I would say Disneyland, but you guys probably are right there in Florida and don't, you know, Disneyland or Disney World is right next door to you. So picture and imagine you're going across the country to the Grand Canyon. And you're on this road trip, across the country. You know, who's in the car with you? Are you singing? Are you playing the alphabet game? You're listening to music. You might stop at a hotel and enjoy a nice dinner, maybe get in the hot tub. Your journey in getting there is all part of that Grand Canyon vision. So let's enjoy the journey on our way to success in doTERRA. Relationships. doTERRA is all about relationships. The new ones, the old ones. It's taking the M out of me and turning it upside down to make we. It's spending time with those you care about, lifting them, and celebrating their successes. So this doesn't come without fear, though. These are comments that I hear people say around doTERRA and the fear of doing the business. I don't want to be pushy. I'm not a salesperson. I don't even know where to place people. This is so new to me. I don't know how to teach about these essential oils. So imagine not having these fears. Imagine not having to guess where to place people. Or imagine enrolling someone and not wondering if they're going to be a builder or not. Well, we have a tool for you that might help eliminate these fears. So, which of these fits you? I have a form that I give out when I enroll people, 3 doTERRA entry-level options. And the first one is a wholesale customer. So this is the person that just wants to buy products wholesale. I'm not really interested in more income. I don't want to build a business. I'm just enrolling to get, you know, for personal use and to get the oils at the most value that I can. They're willing to set up a loyalty rewards order, but that's optional. And of course, you're going to educate them on, you know, ordering 125 PV by the 15th of the month to do that. Then, if they don't choose that, they might choose that they want to be an oil sharing business builder. So this is one that they want to make enough money to pay for their products. They use that they use each month, and you know, they might want to do it part-time just to pay for their products. They have a few people, family and close friends that they might want to share with. So there are suggested oil kits for them to purchase, and they're also willing to set up a loyalty rewards order so that they can get the benefits of that and have get their free points for product. And then the third one is the professional builder. So this is someone that might want to replace their current income, make a 5-figure income, create income for retirement. These guys are serious. They want to, they see a good thing, and they want to jump in with both feet and work this right from the start. So I have listed kits that would be beneficial for them. Of course, the diamond kit or the every oil kit or a sharing kit. So of course that fast tracks them on the loyalty rewards program to 20%. They automatically receive 200 points credit, $200 credit for their loyalty rewards order. They're willing to set up 150 PV loyalty rewards so that they can get that free product credit. They're teachable and dedicated to self-development. So they can pick, here's that full form right here, they can pick where they want to be in doTERRA, and they may change their minds. In the beginning, they might just put that they're a wholesale customer, and that's totally okay. So, and you know, they may move up or they may stay right where they're at, but you don't decide for them. You're putting this choice on them. They see the big picture right there. They can take this form home, and after they get their oils, they might decide, I think I might want to move up to this sharing business builder. But you're not making those choices for them, so it totally takes that fear away. So one of the next things that is important is to have a why. So how many of you have your why actually written out? It actually took me a long time to do this because I didn't think my why was good enough. I had, in fact, it was just last year that I actually wrote my why out. I'm embarrassed to say that. But let me just say, if it's important to you, then it is good enough. So what is your why? Just a quick little analogy. If I were to put a 2x4 plank across the floor and had you walk from one end to the other, you'd probably be willing to do that. That would be an easy peasy thing for you to do, and you wouldn't have any problem saying, sure, I'll do that. So what about if I then put that plank across this little creek here? And so now there's a little bit more involved here, walking across that plank. There's a little bit of a drop-off. There's water in there. And so now I ask you to walk from one side to the other. How many of you are willing to do that? Or how many of you will say, nah, I don't think so. That's not for me. Okay? So now let's put that 2x4 plank across two buildings. Very high buildings, very tall buildings. And I was on one side and you were on the other, and I said, okay, now come to me. What would you do? Of course, your answer is going to be, no way in heck will I do that. That's not, no, you know, that's not even worth it. So what would it be, what would it take to put on the other side of that plank to make it worth it? To make you say, no matter what, I am getting there. Is that your kids? Is that your, you know, something, there's something deep in there that would make you go from one side to the other without hesitation. So what is it going, you know, what is it that's going to keep you going even when it's hard, even on bad days? Even when all you want to do is scream and cry, what is part of your why? That's what your why is. What is it that keeps you going even when it gets hard? That's what we want to know. So my why are these things that I've listed. As a midwife, I didn't have a lot of freedom of time. So you can see that you know, that's my number one why on my list. I always had to have a plan B for anything that I planned. I missed family vacations, missed holidays. We always had a plan B. If mom wasn't there in the morning for, you know, Christmas morning when we woke up, we had a plan B. You know, there was my family was extremely supportive through, you know, through their growing up years, and of course they still are. But I missed out on a lot. I love what I do. I love birth. I love empowering others. I just want it to look a little different than it has the last 20 years. So this is my why, and this is what helps get me to that other side. I love seeing my children's success. I love to see them be successful and prosperous. You know, the 15th of the month, when the 15th of the month comes around and we can see those checks, that is just the funnest day ever. We're, you know, we're talking, we're, you know, chit-chatting and congratulating each other on, you know, how well we've done and how well your team has done. And so those are glorious moments to celebrate. I love to empower those thousands of families that I'm able to empower and teach now versus just the very few that I was actually at their birth. So this is my why, and you can see that it's, you know, there's no grand ventures on here. It's just these things are important to me, and so they do matter. So the next thing I want to talk about is leaders. What kind of a leader do you want to be? And what kind of leaders do you want to attract to your team? So take the time to write down just a few qualities that you want on your team. Effective leaders lead by example. They're honest. They have confidence and compassion. They're intelligent. They know how to have fun. So these are just a few things that I wrote down. A good leader has integrity, is a good example, has a vision, supports you, is stimulating, focuses on their team and interests in their team. So in my prayers, yes, I do pray for my doTERRA business and my leaders. I actually learned this from Joe when I was visiting in their family prayers. He prayed for their leaders every single night, and I was just so impressed with that I came home and included that in my prayers as well. So one of the, it's very often, it's very common for me to pray that I will have independent, motivated, positive, highly influential leaders join our team, and that I will recognize them when they show up, and my team members will recognize them when they show up. You can't have a plan to be successful without a goal or a vision. So set your goals, make a plan, work that plan, stick to it even when it's hard, even on those days when you want to scream and cry, and then help others reach their goals. Help others make a plan, help others work their plan, and be encouraging for those team leaders and team members when it's hard and when they're wanting to just have when they're having a bad day. That's what a good leader does, and that's what it means when you're setting goals. Prepare to be successful. One of my visits to Ashley and Joe, I learned something very valuable. Ashley has a folder in her car, and it has everything she needs in it for a new contact. Oil information, doTERRA information, samples, even enrollment agreements. She is prepared to be successful every single day. So I challenge you to be successful too. Do you carry a folder in your car? Do you have business cards in your wallet that you freely give out? Those are the things that are part of that being prepared to be successful. And then just one last thought. I never have felt so down that I wanted to quit. That was just, it was just as simple as that. That was just never a part of my vocabulary. But I certainly have been frustrated at how long it's taken. doTERRA is not a get-rich-quick game. I've often had to remind myself it's not a race, it's a journey. So this quote has great meaning to me, and it has its place on my fridge. In the confrontation between the stream and the rock, the stream always wins, not through strength, but by perseverance. You too can do this, my friends, so go forth with perseverance.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for that amazing information. That was great. My notepad is full of notes, and I know we are definitely going to tweak our why a little bit, so I encourage everybody to make sure they write down their why, just like Stephanie talked about. I would like to thank everybody for joining us on this call and watching the webinars and taking your time out of your day to join us. So again, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.